Good morning. Okay, so I always say that I'm going to be straightening up while I'm doing these lives, but this one I really am going to be straightening up because I've got to clear away this space here. And I have a lot of stuff to do today and this weekend, but I wanted to come and have a conversation with y'all. This is High Priestess Jamila. How are y'all doing on this Friday, this day of love? And I'm over here. I just want to straighten up. Like I got everything all pulled out, and I need to, like this right here. I need to really, really empty this bowl of water right here. I just got all kind of stuff. I got petitions I need to burn. I just got all kind of stuff going on. Okay. So, hello to all of my witches and whoever is watching, pagan, whether or not you're pagan, you're a Christian witch, whatever. Hello and welcome. Uh, I wanted to come and talk to you guys about something very important. And I know that it is in a lot of people's nature to not listen. I am preparing myself to go back home because I have some work to do uh, at home. And I'm going to be telling my daughters about this too, and just sitting down and having a conversation, a private conversation with my children about this. And maybe they'll listen to this. I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Um, but I wanted to talk to y'all about, first of all, June of 2024. Um, it's going to be a trip, okay? And this is going It's going to be the month of a lot of lessons learned and just a lot. Okay. So, first of all, I want to start off by saying if you are smart, you will get rid of as much of that hate out of your heart as possible. There is nothing powerful about hate. Hate is not necessarily the emotion that you're feeling when you are defending yourself against people. And I think a lot of people don't understand that that's not hate that you're experiencing when you defend yourself against someone that's trying to do harm to you. Okay. Um, that is actually called self preservation. It's not hate, and there is a big difference. But I do strongly suggest for people to get as much of that hate out of their system as possible, which is one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and get out of the South because I need a break from it all. I think that the energies and frequencies that I've been fighting against in Georgia, it's different. I can tell you that much. And a lot of people are probably, especially people that grew up in Georgia, they probably gonna be like, "Oh, this chick is crazy. She's stupid. I don't know what she's talking about." But let me tell you, take it from somebody who I was not raised here. I didn't come to Georgia until I was 36 years of age, and so I know what I'm talking about. Um, it's a lot of racial hate down here in the South, and it's not good. So listen. I don't care what race you are. I want to give out the important message that you got to get as much of that hate out of your heart as possible. Not just racial hate, but hatred having to do with anybody that's different, somebody that's gay, somebody that may be different. I think people should work on that seriously because hate is not good. Okay. Um, I wanted to talk about people and the words that they speak to one another and the words that they speak to themselves. Since I was little, since I was a little kid, the one thing that I observed about people is that most people have loose lips. I can tell you that. Okay, most people have very loose lips, and you know, you got to start holding yourself accountable for stuff like that. Okay, be careful with things like that because people are factually protecting themselves, and they have every right to protect themselves from people's negative words, not just intentions, but negative words, because negative words and hate, uh, it's not good. I know that for me, as a very sensitive person, I don't, like I was telling y'all the other day, I don't pick up on psychic messages as words a lot of the times. It's just, it's hard to explain how the psychic mind picks up on that. You know, maybe after I get some time to sit down and think, um, you know, and kind of get away from all of the drama, I'll be able to articulate that, you know, actually breaking it down and trying to find the words, which is what articulate means. Articulate means trying to find the words to describe something or to tell a story, okay, or whatever. Uh, you know, there are things that are being said that are necessary, but then again, there are things that people are saying and doing that is not out of necessity, but it is actually out of anger and emotion. And that's what I want to talk about. I want people to be more careful with the way that they talk. I want y'all to understand this, just like I'm going to sit down and explain this to my children. Uh when I get them all together, is to be careful about what they say about other people. And is all I got to say. Be careful what your intention is. Be very careful about stealing and robbing. People are really, really, really into this whole lifestyle about taking things from people. And I can tell you that it is an example of depravity that people are going to have to stop and really, really think about these days. Okay, especially being that there's so many people, uh there's so many like different energies and entities on this planet that are doing a lot. Okay, they're doing a lot, and I understand that freedom of speech thing is very important for other people, but freedom of speech does not mean that the words that you're saying out of your mouth cannot hurt you. I was watching this documentary on YouTube about domestic violence, and I don't know, I thought it was going to be an actual documentary about domestic violence, but it was actually about, uh, you know, you know, love partners murdering their partner. So it was just kind of like, I mean, you know, that happens a lot. It does. And people get hurt a lot based upon their words that they say to other people. In particular, when I think that the one thing that a lot of people can't stand is when somebody tells them something that they did wrong. A lot of people don't want to hear about things that they did wrong, okay, when they were blacking out or not themselves at that moment or whatever. But in reality, you have to gain control of yourself. People out there, like there's people, they just speak negative things on other people every single day. This is advice for everybody. It is a fact that what you speak is what you receive. Now, if somebody is trying to stop you, hinder you, take from you, or do anything to you, then you have every right to do what you got to do, but you still need to watch your mouth. Do it gracefully. Stop being angry. If you let, I'm going to give you guys an example. You got a person, let's say this person is a friend, frenemy, ex boyfriend, mother, father, aunt, your sister, your brother, and they're doing something to you. Let's say that they're doing spiritual work on you, or let's say that somebody's doing you dirty, somebody's crossing you, somebody is doing whatever they're doing to you. It is important, and I think that this is where a lot of people get it twisted, because spirit is going to let you know, that person is going to let you know, hey, I'm an adversary of yours. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to have the freedoms to do this. And what a lot of people end up doing is, for months and months and months and years and years and years, and this is advice for clients too, what they will do is they will stay stuck on being angry about what that person tried to do, while sometimes even getting spiritual work done, which doesn't make any sense to me. When you are paying for spiritual work, there is no need to be negative, because that negativity that you speak and you think about is going to affect you. These are the clients that I usually have where it takes longer. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Even though we do some pretty I honestly, I think I've only taught like one necromancy class since I started offering classes in necromancy. Um, but it is extremely important, once you have made that assertion. And I'm going to take my own advice. Sometimes as a public speaker, I have to let people know what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I do. I have to let people know what I'm about. For example, when I spoke about my satanic protection from death and violence, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference between that, but then again, there's a difference between being an angry person that is holding on to it, and every single day you're spouting this hatred for the person. Listen, for me, I do consider myself to be very noble. I feel like if I got to take somebody down, I don't have to lower myself at the same time while I'm doing it. Okay, you stood as an adversary against me, and I did what I knew that I had to do about you because you was quite obsessed with it. And then, you know, there's no need for me to stay stuck on it every single day. For example, if I do death magic for a client, there, when I'm doing that work, there's no need in you going around every single day angry and spouting nonsense. There's no need to do that. Or if I do, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Some of the biggest and baddest death spells do come out of the Bible. This is one of the reasons why I don't like it. In fact, when you're dealing with the Bible, you can speak stuff onto people. Doesn't mean that it's badder ass than witchcraft. But what those Bible spirits produce is a bunch of chaos and confusion. Okay? Because that Bible wants blood. Those spirits in that Bible are hungry and they want blood and they want sacrifices. I'm extremely confused because I thought that Jesus Christ was supposed to be the sacrifice. Clearly, that's not the case, especially since it's been a generational curse for so many people. The Bible, Christianity, a lot of the religions have served as a generational curse. So apparently, there's new Jesuses popping up, and people are just being shot down, murdered. And it to me, I can recognize the sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if my daughters get into it with somebody, or if they are in a turbulent relationship, I'm not going to say things like, oh, that Negro gonna kill her or something. You have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful what you say. You can't just say things. And I have noticed that a majority of people, especially ones that have anger issues, you have to be careful with those anger issues. Okay. You do. And I'm a practitioner. Well, I'm not a practitioner. I am a witch. And so, as a witch, if there's angry emotions that come up, what I like to do is, even when I'm pushing that energy into work, when if I'm sending energy back to somebody, there's a certain way that I do it. But then again, I've also been getting back into transmuting the negative energies that I can, because some of the negativity is not transmutable. Why? Because your enemy wants to make it non-transmutable. Okay. So you have to be careful with that. And you have to listen. Listen, if you don't get along with somebody, stay the hell away from them. I don't care who it is, if it's your family member, if it's your husband, if it's your ex, if you don't get along with somebody, if it is toxic, probably a good idea to stay away from negative people. If a person is negative and the situation is negative, why are you holding on to the situation? Especially when you're trying to get somewhere. I can tell you, I speak from personal experience. Even though I've spent a great deal of my adult life alone with my children, I'm not even going to lie to you. I would rather be alone than to be around toxic people. It's just the way that I am. Okay. And, prior to a lot of this, I had that power in my hands to where, and I still do, but and I don't like negative people. I don't like people that talk negatively all the time. I don't. Because people that talk negatively all the time, they actually produce negativity for themselves and the people around them. It is a fact, right? So I like to be happy. I like to think about daisies. I like to think about sunflowers. I like to think about roses. I like to think about, newborn babies and baby powder and puppies and kittens, and waterfalls and fucking rainbows. And I don't like to think about negative stuff. It's just the way that I am, and I'm not going to change. Okay. But I can tell you that that hatred and negativity, whether you feel it or not, is affecting the heart chakra. This is why I don't like hateful messages. I think that, and I want people to listen very clearly. Anytime I have had to come on here and address certain people, even though I may have sounded angry or I may have sounded perturbed or pissed off, that is not hate. That's not hate, because I've already figured out what I'm going to do about that situation. That is merely me speaking publicly about the situation, because there's been a lot of smear campaigns. I can't figure out for the life of me. I actually did write a letter to the White House. Hey, I am a pagan. I am a witch. I am a Satanist. Okay. I have that right. Why do I feel like I am being targeted in America, and why do I feel like I'm not being protected? I am a woman at the end of the day with children. Why is America so unconstitutional and we're supposed to be protected by the Constitution, but yet I feel targeted all the time? Okay. Just with everything, people making things difficult, people thinking that they can discriminate against me because they've seen me on YouTube, people following me around, people actually trying to steal from me with the presumption that they're going to be able to get away with it just because I'm a witch. I would really like to know, honestly, and I do want to stand up for witches' rights. I do. This is important to me because I have found, not only as a woman with children that I love very much, I have found that not just as a witch, but as a woman, I have felt like because I have children who were either born out of wedlock or by being considered to be a single mother, that a lot of people look at me and my children as disposable, as the sacrifices, as the scapegoats. Okay. And that's something that, yes, I did do something about it. Everything that I talk about, I've already done something about it. So I'm not complaining and not doing anything. I've done something about that, trust me. But I still need to speak about it because a lot of people need to learn the same thing. Okay. Be careful what you say. If y'all remember what Nicki Minaj said, she said, "Hey, listen, I know you don't like me, but watch your mouth." That's a smart lady right there. People can learn from Nicki Minaj when she said that. She said, "Hey, I know you don't like me, but watch your mouth." Okay. Be careful with what you say about people. People are factually protecting themselves from the things that you are wishing upon them. People have the right to protect themselves. And your words can cause calamities. There are a lot of people that are walking around here wishing bad things on people that have never really done anything to them. There's people walking around here starting wars with people, starting spiritual wars with people. Who in the hell would start a spiritual war for what? Especially when it comes to witchcraft. Witchcraft is perfect. There's no need to start a spiritual war. I don't get it. But people do what they want to do. You don't have to take Jamila's advice. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you that I wouldn't suggest it. People are protected. Everybody, all people, black people, white people, and the rest of the people, they're protected. So you have to be careful about the things that you say about people because spirit is especially when it comes to those biblical spirits, you know what I'm saying? Because and I think that that's what attracts a lot of people to that religion, is that they feel like their tongue is a weapon, right? But see, sometimes your mouth can get you in trouble. Okay. So the question is, what's going on and what's wrong with you to make you the type of person that is sitting around talking about people all the time, just talking about people, wishing bad on people. Y'all know, y'all seen those type of people. They just sit around all day long, just wishing bad on people. Okay. All day long, just hateful. Those people are going to have to watch their mouth. Okay, you're going to watch your mouth and see. We getting ready to have Saturn go into retrograde, and you know what? We are already preparing for Saturn retrograde. It's not necessarily that we have to. It's not just protection, but it's like, listen, clean it up, transmute it, because when that Saturn goes into retrograde, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Saturn is a beautiful, wonderful planet. I'm going to have a lot of fun working through Saturn and talking about Saturn. And we're going to talk about Saturn a lot more. I love that planet with Saturn. You are either going to manifest good things or very, very bad things. And everything that you say, in particular on the internet, is being transmitted up to Saturn. Saturn can hear you. So Saturn is going to say, okay, what's going on? Let me give this person their karma. And Saturn will be in retrograde until I think October the 15th. Okay. You have to be very, very careful. Okay. You do. So we'll talk about that more. But that is like literally like if you don't listen to any other advice, right? I know y'all have heard me come on here and I've wished death on people, but that's because those people were wishing death on me. Those people were wishing hunger and sickness on me. Okay. But people that ain't done nothing to you, people that you hating on that hate, I don't care what excuse you got. Oh, this happened in a past life, that happened in a past life. That's no excuse. That's where your problems are coming in. That's where the issue is coming in, especially when it comes to race relations, right? Especially when it comes to that. What we are doing is we are trying to create an easy life as much as possible, right? So you make things harder for yourself when you stay stuck in the past or when you are doing things like that, especially when you're dealing with a witch. You don't have to go through all that rigmarole. You really don't. Why are you going through the rigmarole? You dealing with a witch. It's already solved. The issue is resolved. Of course, when something comes up and it's so ridiculous, yeah, you do get angry. But to hold on to that for years and years and years, and even if it's something very deep, because I have clients that are going through some deep, deep stuff. But if all of those clients, instead of when you come to me and you say, okay, we agree that this is what needs to be done, and then I do the work and you're still angry, apparently it ain't took effect yet. Apparently it's gonna take longer, ain't it? Once you get that issue resolved, it's resolved. There's no need to walk around in that anger and that hatred. Hatred comes from the heart. That means that your heart chakra is imbalanced. So I don't just help clients with their work. My clients are asking me to help them create emotional balance and healing. Most of y'all are. I don't care what you say. A lot of y'all want healing. And I can tell you, I can say, hey, listen, you're not healing when you are walking in hatred 24/7, hatred for anybody. You got to get that hatred out of your heart. That's why I said I'm not going to, honestly, hey, listen, nobody else determines how I live my life. Otherwise, that would mean I was in prison. That's a prison mentality. That's imprisonment of the mind. Like if I were locked up in prison right now, I would have to be on red alert because somebody might be trying to shank me or jump me. I'm not in prison. I'm walking around out here free and just like the rest of y'all. So why is so many people behaving like they're in prison? When you're in prison, you can't run. You can't just say, "Oh man, I'm going home. I'm walking away." Right? You have the right to walk away from beefs and silly stuff that really means nothing, something that somebody says. Okay, you know what? People's words can affect you. They can. It can. I've seen it happen, especially with women. That's why I don't understand why people thumping Bibles at women and I never did understand that. That's evil. That's horrible. Okay, especially men when men do it. Okay. I don't see the point. Never have seen the point. I'm a witch. Whatever it is you throw at me, I'm going to resolve it. Whatever it is. And I've been through some shit. I've been through some shit that I plan on writing a full book about it. For real. As soon as I get to the point, probably this winter, I'm going to start writing my book. I'll probably get it done in 3 or 4 months or less. Talk about the spiritual things that I know, just kind of random spiritual stuff that people can read and they can go, wow, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not just the plan. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. A lot of people think if they talk real negatively, they gonna scare people, right? The probability of being straight up about it, whether or not you're Christian, pagan, or Satanist, if somebody comes out of the blue attacking you, you can ask your gods or your spirits or your ancestors to smite them before they do harm to me, right? As a witch, I feel like we take it steps and steps further. Okay, I don't know any witch, and if you are one, raise your hand because you need classes. If you're a witch that's getting any kind of death threats and you are afraid to protect yourself from death, shit, I wouldn't be, because people will do that. The depravity is deep in people. And you know what that depravity comes from? It comes from fear. Why else would you not be able to sit back and enjoy the peace and the tranquility and serenity? It's not the way it's supposed to be. Even if somebody's attacking you, somebody says something about you, I understand that on YouTube, there are people that actually get donations for keeping themselves involved with beefs. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not. Okay. So y'all can, dismiss yourselves from this conversation just as long as you don't involve Jamila. If you make that choice to say, that's just like if you make a choice to be a boxer for a living. Hell, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't hear about be a boxer for a living because I know that boxing is dangerous. I wouldn't be a football player either because I know that football is dangerous. So, so it's the same thing as when people are in social media and this is how they get paid. They get paid for, being rowdy rowdy. Okay. See, that's not what I am. I don't get paid to do that. I don't get paid to do that. I don't get paid to compete with nobody. Okay. In fact, I'm a chaos magician, meaning that to go deeper about chaos magic is that my spirits are going to match any person that is attacking me. That's chaos. It's like, okay, well, this is a different person, different energy, and this is what we're going to have to do for this person. Okay? So that to me that's a part of chaos magic too. So, I'm just telling y'all, I want people that listen to me, I want you to understand that because it is a thing to where people are just coming out of the blue attacking you. Once you have said to them, hey, that's not what I do. This is not what I want to do. I don't want to do this. You take your negative energy. Hey, I'll even take my negative energy back. I'll take that back because I can transmute that. And I was supposed to transmute it anyway. It was my lesson. It was my blessing. And we'll part ways. But see, a lot of people don't know how to do that. They want to keep going and they want to keep going and they want to keep going. Okay. So that listen, it's people can do whatever they want to do. I don't stand in judgment of those people. I'm just telling you the danger in that. And I don't want to hang around people. I don't want to talk to people that all day, every day, they're angry. I don't want to do that. For what? That's very bad, toxic energy. Now, if you get angry and perturbed or worried about something that's different, but you have to be careful. Okay, you can't just do death magic on everybody. You got to be careful with that. Anger and witchcraft, being an angry person and witchcraft actually does not go together very well. Just like being an angry person and drinking alcohol does not go well together. It don't. You put those two together and you're going to get disaster constantly. And some people like causing disasters. All I know is what to do to protect from that stuff. All I know is how to manipulate the energy. That's all I know as a witch. Okay. But I want people to be careful with that because it's a lot of that going on. And you have to, specifically when it comes to your words, specifically when it comes to your words. That's just like what my spirits is telling me, what Aphrodite is telling me is that if you're a person that sits around and calls everybody ugly all day, every day, you might start looking ugly. You might turn into an ogre. You just sit around all day, every day, calling people ugly, random people. Oh, that person ugly. This person, that person is that person. So just be careful with that. Be careful with that. Be careful the words that you speak. We have a full moon coming up on the 23rd. It's the 23rd. 23rd, 24th. Um, I know a lot of you guys are not there yet. Okay, because there's a lot of things that you may want. There's a lot of things that you may have had taken from you. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I do. I totally understand that. I would like to have. I don't wear high heel shoes, but I do like tennis shoes, and I do like sandals, different types of sandals. I like clogs. I feel like I ain't really been shopping in a few years, which is a crying shame amongst the world. I don't understand that at all. You know, and but you know what? Am I angry about it? Nope. Do I know I'm going to manifest those things? Yep. I'm not going to go out and mess up my life for a pair of shoes. There's a lot of people out there dying and murdering people for shoes. You know what I'm saying? They're taking shoes off of other people's feet that don't even belong to them. Everything that I have, I earned it. I ain't never took nothing from nobody in my life. So just be careful with that. I don't mean to preach to y'all, whatever. I'm just saying, like, be careful with what your thoughts. Be careful with your thoughts. Are your thoughts in alignment with your desires? If they are not, you need to check yourself. Once I've done the work, if somebody curses you, once I've done the work to return it to sender, it is now up to you to change your thoughts because curses and stuff causes sickness of the mind. So if you need a healing spell or something, but your thoughts and your words have to be in alignment with what your desires are. And I'm talking about either deep desires or positive desires like money, cars, houses, boats. You might want a boat for for the lake. You may want to go live on the lake like I do with a boat. All of your thoughts, words, and actions are going to manifest and have power over your desire. Okay? And that's a fact. If your thoughts are not in alignment, if negative thoughts take over your mind, remember I told y'all that whenever a negative thought form or thought pattern is sent to me, I instantly transmute it If I have a worry, guess what I do? I change that worry. I change it. I change it. Typically, especially when it comes to women, I always imagine women having a baby. Women that I love and care about. If I think something bad gonna happen to them, I always think, no, ain't nothing bad gonna happen. They gonna end up with a baby, which that ain't a bad thing. But some people ain't ready for that. But that's better than the other. Okay. So and that's just an example. Instead of you thinking about something negative happening, you have to learn how to rewind that, call it back, flip it and reverse it, and then you need to be able to think a positive thought. If your mindset is not like that, then that's when you probably need some help. That is where meditation, crystals, candles are going to come in, sage is going to come in, and maybe even some spiritual work needs to be done so that you can work on yourself. Okay. A lot of people that are thinking negatively all the time, they just have nothing but negative thoughts. Okay, I'm not saying that negative bad things are not necessary sometimes, because they are. Sometimes it's necessary if somebody is a threat to you. Sometimes you do have to go through something negative, but you don't sit around and think about that negative stuff 24/7. And a crown of success can help you with that too, because that's where your crown is affected. That's where you're constantly, that's where a negative person or either a negative occurrence has taken over your mind. You get into a argument with somebody, and the words that they say are doing flips around your mind. You need to learn how to control your own mind. That's what mind control is. Unless you feel like you deserve it. If you feel like you deserve something like that, then that's a totally different thing. It is some people that do deserve that because they messing with people and bothering people and don't know how to leave folk alone. Okay, those are the people that are going to be messed up. My people that I assist, that I help, I am telling you that that is necessary for your growth, for your healing. Okay. And I don't care what negative people try to make it seem like. They love being negative like that. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're miserable. Don't ever let a person that is constantly negative convince you that they're happy in life, because they're not. And happiness to me is a virtue. To some people it isn't. Okay, so you don't have to follow Jamila when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? You can be a miserable person if that's what you want to be. That even if you are not where you want to be, okay, for example, I'm gonna give you a good example. When I go back to my hometown, I'm gonna be in a home of my own, of course, but it's not gonna be at the lake. Am I gonna sit there and go, oh hell, fuck, I'm supposed to be at the lake, and I'm gonna be negative the whole time till I get to the lake? I ain't gonna never get to the lake if that's the case. And addressing negative people that are spreading rumors online does not make me negative. Okay. I'm constantly thinking positive about that, constantly manifesting the lake house that I want, because my thoughts are in alignment with what I want. Regardless to what conspiracy was against me, it doesn't matter. They can't change my mind. And that's what you have to do. You have to be strong in the mind, okay? And that's even with clients. You know what I'm saying? That's even with clients. You'd be surprised at how quickly you will manifest positive things for yourself. Don't let negative thoughts take over. Don't let those negative thoughts or memories possess you, because people do allow it to possess them. People allow hate to possess them. People allow anger to possess them. Okay, don't do that. And if I'm working with you, you have to understand that that is the way that it works. It is. That is the way that it works, especially, I mean, If you a person that wants to manifest millions of dollars and that's all you want, or if you're a person that wants to manifest a good job or whatever, and you pay me to do that for you, then we can do that. You can be a negative person all you want, making millions or making six figures or seven figures, all that you want. I wouldn't suggest it, okay? Because but you don't have to do what I tell you to do. But if you're gonna be up around me, or if you want to be in my coven, you can't. I don't want that negative stuff around me. Okay, I really don't. So just bear that in mind. I don't mind just doing work for a person. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will tell you that, hey, it's not that it's, a lot of us witches do recommend meditation, because a lot of you guys, especially those of you that want something, doesn't mean that your thoughts and everything else is in alignment with that. And that's one of the reasons why people go to witches and it doesn't work, or it takes a long time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Because y'all be sitting around there, y'all want to do big things. You want to you want to go the witchy way, but you want to stay the way that you were before. And when we cast these spells out there, or when we do these rituals for you, that shit's gonna work. Okay, it is. It's gonna work. If you sitting around not believing it's not gonna work, that it's gonna work, it's not gonna work. Okay, but if you like, yeah, I know it's gonna work, and you be surprised that, right. What I notice about a lot of people is that right when something good is about to happen for them, like right there, and I think that has a lot to do with y'all own subconscious and paranoia, the moon. Right when something is getting ready to manifest, y'all just be freaking out like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And then it'll manifest. And a lot of my clients, I've been doing this for almost a decade for the public. A lot of my clients will they will tell me, they will admit to me, they'll be like, Jamila, I was stressing about that. I was like really, really, like I was worrying myself half to death. And then I got a phone call the next day. See what I'm saying? So, and I've caught myself doing that, to where I'll just be freaking out over something, and just internally, because I don't really. A lot of people think I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I don't agree with it. Okay, I don't agree with that. But you can think whatever you want. But I'd be sitting there just internally. I'd be like, oh my God, stomach be hurting. So and then next thing you know, it'd be like, I'll be damned. You know what I'm saying? And don't ever think it's a trick. Some people will say, this is a trick. This is too good to be true. And it's because you're used to that negativity. You're used to being told you don't deserve nothing. You're a bastard. You can't have nothing. You're not good enough for that. You're used to being told that. That's why. You're used to thinking that way. You're used to being afraid whenever something good happens for you. Okay. And feeling like it's too good to be true. Okay. So y'all be careful with that. Okay. Saturn will go into retrograde in a month. I highly recommend you guys doing the Saturn retrograde witch bottles. If you don't want to do a witch bottle, then you are more than welcome to try to go at it yourself. Because as soon as Saturn hits, retrograde Saturn hits, all of the confused people, they gonna come for people. It's gonna be a whole trip. They coming because they don't understand. They don't want to listen. They coming. And they're gonna act a fool, and they're gonna be trying to project a lot of that. And what Saturn wants them people to do is they want them to transmute their own negativity. But a lot of people are going to be confused. They're going to be like, oh, somebody put a curse on me, which somebody probably did curse you. But the lesson may not necessarily be to attack that person, the lesson might be to sit back and check your own behavior. Okay. That might be the lesson. I don't know. Because there's a lot of people that think, oh, I can attack you for this reason, or I can attack you for that reason. See, for me as a witch, when I do dark work for people, which reversals can be considered to be dark work, but if I do curses for clients and things of that nature, um, I have to have some kind of justification for that. Okay, you have to be justified in that. So I don't just do curses on people and attack people willy-nilly. I will never do that. No, no, thank you. Because people have gotten into trouble for that. And what they'll do is they'll blame it on witchcraft. And that's not witchcraft's fault that you didn't use it responsibly. Okay. If you felt seriously like you needed to protect yourself spiritually, then that's just what it is, right? If you felt that that's what you needed to do. And, that's not the type of witch that I am, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly believe that those kind of witches are not going to have good things happen for them. I really feel that way. Somebody that's targeting people, and really, like, I don't even know what to say about people that are stalking people, like, attacking people. I have nothing to say about that. Just whatever. Okay. What I can tell you is that gotta watch out. This summer is going to be a trip. It's going to be very intense. It's going to be very intense. And it's going to intensify at the summer solstice, of course, because, when these equinoxes are happening, there's changes that the earth is shifting. Okay. I don't know the technical stuff about that because I'm not a scientist. I'm a witch. But there's certain changes that are being made, and so that summer heat gonna come through. It's gonna come through. And the sun's gonna make it more intense when Saturn goes into retrograde, because the sun is going to be transmitting all of that energy. Okay. It's going to be transmitting all of that energy. That's how it works. It's nothing anybody can do about it. Okay. The question is going to be, have you been naughty or have you been nice? That's going to be the question. That's all it is to it. Okay. And you got people out here that still think, hey, I can sacrifice these people or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I have a lot of clients to where they've been slated as unwilling sacrifices, and it don't ride in the grand scheme of things. It's never going to do that, especially if they walk away from religion. If you're a religious person, you can be sacrificed at any fucking time. That's just all it is to it. That's why if either one of my sons or my daughters was running around here talking about, I'm Jesus Christ, I'd be like, oh God. I'd be like, oh Goddess, we need Satan's help up in here because this is bad. Because Jesus was a sacrifice. I don't want to sacrifice myself for people unless it's the people that I love. But why would I need to sacrifice myself for those people? Why can't I spend time with the people that I love? What does that have to do with it? Right? Okay. I'm gonna go downstairs and get this vacuum and get this floor vacuumed up, y'all. So I will be seeing y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up. And yes, I am accepting new clients for the full moon. So visit divineservicesapothecary.com. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Okay. All right. Blessings. Bye.